Hey.
Yo, are we live? We are live. The screen says we're live, so it
Yep.
must mean we're live. Check
That's,
here. Okay, we're good here. Looks like we're good here.
yep.
Hey, good evening. We got what? Got Mr. Burner in chat. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you being here. Take take a few minutes to get everybody in here. I'm sure it's Friday
Yeah.
night.
It's Friday night. You know, high school football games are kicking off.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a couple of the large channels are having roll hunts,
Of
and
course,
and there's an auction going on another channel. So
it's the way that goes.
it's exactly the way it goes.
Yeah, we have such a small community. It's just everybody takes up a spot. It does, it's almost to the point where common courtesy just really goes out the window. It's just like, hey, I'm going to do something this night. I'm going to go do it.
Well, I mean, there's it's, yeah, there's certain channels we obviously don't want to step on, and then there's
Hmm.
others we just if we want to put content out or do live, we can't help it. But sometimes cross the beams or
Don't
cross the
cross the
streams.
streams.
Yes.
Literally,
Yeah.
figuratively.
Mr. Werner is having a brandy old fashioned sweet.
Oh, brandy old fashioned. Nice.
That would seem to be very sweet.
Mm.
Bob W. Hello.
Hey, Bob, how you doing? Good evening. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, Mr. Werner, everything went down today. Stock
Oh,
market went down, gold went down, silver went down, everything went down. Just
yeah, that
who
was.
knows? I mean, it's the markets, right? So who knows what's going to happen? Kind of have an idea. I mean, the dollar strengthened. Um, what did I hear? It's up to 114 or something like that. And I think it's the highest it's ever been is like 119 or 120.
Oh,
So,
really? Oh,
yeah.
oh, wait, 119 against what?
Uh,
The exchange rate?
yeah. Um, let me do a quick search here. So one US dollar is worth $1.03.
Almost 1 to 1.
Yeah, actually, yeah, it costs more euros. Yeah, almost. Um, dollar index is at one. Come on, 113.02. And it
Donald, New
was.
Mexico. Good evening, brother. How are you?
It started at 111.25, so
Hmm.
that went up. Um, so I mean, it's obviously people are taking advantage of the exchange rates, especially overseas. Um, let's see, the Dow went down 1.6%, Nasdaq 1.8, S&P 1.7. Trying to see if it says anything here about gold and silver. I'll have to go to my.
Hmm.
Gold was down 1.6% for the day. Silver was down 4% for the day. Platinum down 5%. And palladium is down 4.76. So gold closed at 1645. This is the ask price. Silver 1893. Platinum 864. Palladium 2153. And rhodium down to 14,500.
Oh, just 14,500.
Yeah, but the bid on that's 12,500. If
Oh,
If that was the ask price, then I'd be all over it.
No, of course, get that second and third mortgage out.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's
With,
happening.
yeah, with the
I
what?
don't.
With what? 3/4 of a point
Yeah,
raise.
I think the chief financial officer would veto that. That would be a
Mm.
line item veto. That wouldn't even be a line item veto. I'd get thrown out of the office.
Yeah, yeah. His next words would be security. Yeah, that's a question that I have. Okay, so interest rates are going up, right?
Yep.
It affects mortgages,
Yep.
auto
Yep.
loans,
Everything.
credit cards,
Yep.
pretty much anything that charges an interest rate, right?
Yep. Yep.
So how come my savings and checking account interest rate hasn't gone up?
Um, that I can't answer, but I do know that if you buy a 1-year Treasury note right now, bond,
Mm-hmm.
I think your guaranteed return rate is like 4 points. It's four over 4%.
That's a high, that's high.
It
For,
is
for
high.
for quite some time, because it's like double E series bonds. It's like less than 2%.
Yeah, it's over 4 right now, I believe. Now I got my trusty thing up. Let me take a look. So should we be stacking bonds instead of precious metals?
Might as well, right?
Bond yields soar as markets weigh threats to recession. Yes, we know that.
Well, I noticed the temperature has finally dropped.
It's 50. We actually had to turn the heat on last night. The house got down to like 64 degrees.
Yeah, we're this week was the supposed last heat wave of high 80s, low 90s, and tonight the temperature is going to drop down to 60, and by the end of next week the lows are going to be it's forecast to be 49.
That's about what we're supposed to get. 1-year Treasury is at 4.08%.
4.08.
Yep.
That's
And
better. That's better than a CD, from your bank or credit union.
oh yeah.
You know,
But now you got to tie up your money for 1 year. But at
well,
least you're making 4% instead of losing 15%, depending on how much money you want to dump in there. And
yeah,
the typical disclaimer: we are not financial advisors, consultants, or anything to do with that. Check with your local personal finance advisor and or attorney for official advice. We're just giving opinions. We're practicing
opinions.
our First Amendment right to freedom of speech. Even though that gets misused in the wrong
No,
contexts.
yeah,
Right.
and that's a whole nother discussion.
That's a whole other discussion, especially when you're on somebody else's platform, such as where we are now. They have their own rules and terms of service, and if you violate them, then you will be asked to leave or removed. But it's their company, and we're on their platform, so
Yeah, yeah.
it's a double-edged
Although,
sword, right?
yeah, well, there is less legislature being formed to force, to not violate people's First Amendment.
Well, that's gonna
I don't think it's
that's
going to go anywhere.
I was gonna say that's gonna die in committee. I don't see that going anywhere either. They could well, it's an election year.
Well, see, that's what the New Deal for America is, according to the other party. So they kind of made an announcement about some of the changes they want to do, and we are talking about politics too much, so we need to stop.
Yes, but I'm just saying it's an election year, and stuff gets brought up and introduced, particularly for the elections. So,
Yep.
and we can leave it at that. Hello, Donald. I think that the Don said hello, but I didn't want to ignore you. So hello to you too, so sure. I hope you're doing well.
So how was your day today, Mr. X?
With this weather change, not good. I'll be honest, not good.
Yeah. Yeah, messing with your back.
Oh, it's all my joints because it affects all my joints. So
Mm.
I've got other things that are hurting more in my back, believe it or not, right now.
Mm.
Donald says I'd vote for lower premium on coins. No kidding. Nick's Coins is here, and she says she is here for financial advice.
Okay, I'm gonna go put her on timeout.
I was going to say with that I would make her a mod.
Okay. See what happens.
Yeah, she's what we
Good
call
evening, young lady. Hope you had a good week.
A good egg.
There you go.
Yeah.
I gave her a wrench.
Hey, Silver Wolverine. Oh, you did
SW.
give her a wrench.
Yep, I gave her a wrench. I gave her a wrench.
Now remember. So she's been wrenched now on 2 channels this week.
Mm-hmm.
She actually, they had to, I can't say that in any nice way. She was wrenched on a large channel. Uh-oh. You had your appendix taken out on Wednesday?
Huh?
Ew. I hope you're...
Wait. You, Nick?
No. Oh, yeah, that's what she said. Had appendix taken out on Wednesday.
Oh, you okay?
So obviously, after the stream Tuesday night, you had some issues.
Wow. Well, that's the funny thing with appendix. My brother had his. It's like a
Yeah, it's like a sudden thing.
It's a switch. It's just you're fine and bam.
Yeah.
It's there's no like symptoms or anything. Well, at least that's how my brother described it to for him.
Right.
It's crazy. Wow. We'll get better soon.
Yeah. Emergency surgery. Well, hopefully they caught it before. Well, obviously they caught it before anything really bad happened, or you probably wouldn't be online. So
yeah. Yeah. I mean it's I mean techniques today. I mean they got it down.
Right.
It's beyond a science. I mean it's almost like an art now. Yeah. I mean, plus all the new techniques and surgical equipment and materials.
Isn't that how Harry Houdini died?
What, his appendix burst?
His appendix burst and he went septic and died?
I don't know.
I believe that's the case.
Hey, good evening, Stacking Perpetrator. And who else we got? Bad Gateway. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, everybody, for sharing part of your Friday evening with us. And we'll try to get this in before the next episode of the Game of Thrones. Is that tonight? Is Game of Thrones tonight, or is that Sunday night? And tonight is the Lord of the Rings. I get them mixed up.
I don't watch either, so I don't know. I know.
Okay, Nick said that's right. That's how Houdini passed.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yep. Happened in Detroit, actually, if I recall. He was doing a show, and he always had an open challenge that anybody could hit him in the stomach, and it wouldn't bother him. And he stood up to meet somebody, and he wasn't ready, and the guy belted him hard enough to burst his appendix. Now, I could be wrong. Someone might want to Google that and fact check me. But I do think that it did happen in Detroit, where his appendix burst. Now, the stories on how or what could be legend of lore. I don't know.
Oh, Bad Gateway says he spent many summers out at, was it Lake Michigan from late Charlevoix?
Charlevoix.
Charlevoix.
Yep. Round Lake,
Uh-huh.
Charlevoix was between the two.
Oh, cool.
Um,
Oh, speaking of Mr. X, guess what I found clearing out a few things and bringing it here into the new studio?
Yeah, a piece of gold you were going to send me for free.
Oh, that.
Oh, look at that. That looks kind of holographic.
It is holographic. I finally found it because you asked about it and I completely forgot about it. And it was sitting between two boxes. So I lifted it up and then this thing kind of, floated in the air. I was like, there it is. So I finally found your other one.
Yeah. I know I got all my stuff shipped out from the other night. Yesterday, so that's
Oh, yes. I don't see any of the folks that purchased anything from me. But if you are working, yeah, everything went into the dropped off at the distribution center earlier this afternoon. So it should have left for Birmingham about about 2 hours ago.
well, in the real world it's 8:16 p.m., which is Eastern time.
Yeah, but I'm central.
I know, that's what I said. In the real world it's 8:16.
Whatever. Let's see. How do I see? I can't. No, I don't know. How do I do that? No, I don't want to do that. There should be a way that like if we're in StreamYard, there should be a way where we can turn the image off. When I do this.
Yeah.
How do I do that to you without kicking you out of the stream?
You just have to boot me from the stream.
No, I ain't boot you. No, that's too much work.
Stacking perpetrator. Yes, there's something going on with the YouTube comments. I'll go to watch a video and I see there's 8 or 9 comments, and I click on it and there's nothing there, and then I have to click on, when I'm on my phone, I have to click on the little icon and then switch it over to latest comments, and the comments appear, or the most recent or whatever. I'm not going to bother looking at it, but yeah, you got to go in there and then that'll bring the comments up. So I don't know what's going on behind the scenes at YouTube, but they've got a little bug that they need to fix when it comes to comments. And speaking of bugs to fixes, how is the Don's audio and my audio? Are we sounding okay this evening?
Testing 1, 2, 3, ABC.
I think they hear us.
Yeah, I think if there was an issue, I'm sure somebody would have said something. But we need Miss Kiddomine, our acoustics expert. She needs to pop in here, so she can definitely give us the lowdown.
Nick said sounds good. So,
something I agree with Miss Nick. See if I can highlight it. Yeah, Federal Reserve is the worst thing that happened to this country. I agree. Audit the Fed.
Yeah, well,
if they're like a bank, who audits them? Who holds them accountable? Okay, that's a political question.
Correct. Themselves.
So okay, so the title for tonight's live stream is to stack or not to stack. That is the question. I thought of bringing this up because of a couple of reasons. One, we all know what's going on with spot price, reacting to the market, and then what was it, Wednesday, when interest rates went up 0.75 points, and yet we're in an economy with inflation extremely high. I should have looked up what the number is. Is it like 8% or something like that?
Well, the Fed said it was 8.3, but we
Okay,
know that that's
we
not
know it's
accurate.
higher than that.
Correct.
But they're trying to paint a more milder picture of what's going on. That they don't want to panic us or something like that. But
Correct.
that's just my opinion. So, what are everyone's strategy with respects to stacking? Are you stacking? If you are, what are you stacking? And how are you going about doing it? Because your expenses on everything else is still high. Gas and food and utilities are up.
Gas here is
Um,
dropping, actually.
I'm sorry.
Gas here is actually dropping.
Oh, okay. Yeah, ours is kind of stabilized. It's stable. It's about like it's been like $3.10 for like the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're not that low. I think we're like at 3. I haven't filled up this week. I want to say it's like 323 or something like that, which, you know,
Oh, is that corrector?
yep,
Corrector.
corrector. Hello.
Corrector. Good evening. Thank you for joining us and spending a little bit of your Friday evening with us.
Heating
Ah,
fuel.
yeah, that's right, Nick. Yeah, that's right, Nick. Heating fuel is expensive right now, and it's probably only going to get worse. And
Uh, Chad Lichtenstein. Hello.
hey, good evening. Thanks for
Yeah,
joining
and
us,
we haven't
Chad.
even hit. I mean, it's only
I mean,
September,
yeah.
so
So it's not even quite fall yet.
well, technically it is now fall. Both season. First day of fall was what, Thursday?
Was it okay?
Um, but
But
so we're gonna really see. We'll see the reactions there. But back to your original question, I can give you my answer.
hmm
I have a budget,
hmm
and I stick to a budget, and I buy every month a certain amount to that budget.
hmm
Now, sometimes I keep a closer eye in seeing what's going on with the markets, and if there's a huge drop or a decent drop, that just means I can buy what I normally buy at a
hmm
discount. If it drops substantially, I may dip into next month's budget, but for the most part, I'm just slow and steady. I really haven't changed what I am stacking or how I'm stacking. It may accelerate at certain points depending on where the markets are headed.
Yeah.
The premiums, unfortunately, are still high. Um,
Yeah.
even on gold, it's higher, but it's much more reasonable than silver.
hmm I agree with that. And real quick, my man Polly Buck, how you doing, sir? Don't worry about it. I'll the link goes out, and when you can, jump on in. If you can't, it's okay, brother. No worries, man. No worries. I'm just glad you're here, brother. Just glad you're here.
Yep.
Yeah, for me, finally get back on track with my budget, because you and I kind of went through this phase a lot, back in July, and then kind of maybe a little bit in August, where your computer died, my computer died, and it's like, oh, then I want to upgrade some of my, since I'm buying a new computer, I might as well upgrade the equipment.
Yep.
So I was like, okay,
In
I
for a
can't.
penny, in for a pound. So I went
Yeah.
from the bare bones minimum to holy crap, I got nicer equipment than people that probably have 100,000 subs, and I got 600.
Yeah, well, I'm not using the iPhone tonight for the camera because I got too much flack from a certain retired Marine that he can't text me while I'm on a live stream. So yeah,
That is a drawback.
yeah. I mean, this one works fine. I don't,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, it works. It works fine.
no. I think I'm going to stay with this until until it gets to the point where I just can't stand it anymore or something. I did find I have like this adjustable platform, so I could take that microscope and mount it completely vertical. So you got the stand, put your coin or whatever, but
Yep.
it's got a long vertical arm, so I could draw it, higher, so you could get a more fuller view of what's being presented. And exactly,
It's like mine, right?
yeah,
I can
hmm,
go up and down,
yep,
and then I can also move the microscope itself up
hmm,
and down.
yeah, yeah,
So it can almost get a silver eagle, almost, not quite. Um, it needs to be another. It needs to be a little bit longer, and I know that's what she said.
but I need to hook that damn thing up.
But it serves my purposes because I'm normally not shooting. I'm normally not doing that. Normally it's the small coins that I'm putting under here, or if I'm looking at a date or a mint mark or something. But I find myself I don't use it that often, um, or as frequently as I thought that I would, because I thought I would be do a little bit more roll hunting and stuff. And after I did that for a while, I realized that was not for me.
Hmm.
But I mean, I have it. I've had it for quite a while, and it works good. It serves my purposes.
Yeah,
But when I
yeah,
take photographs of coins or different things, I've actually got a copy stand that my camera attaches to that goes up and down, similar to that, so I can zoom right in. And I got the lighting and the tubes and everything else, so I can properly light a coin to take a good photograph. But I haven't done that in a while either. For I just haven't had the need to. So, but I have
yeah,
all this. I have all the toys.
yeah. I think toys wise, I think I'm good for a while now. And if I do upgrade any one thing, it'll probably be this camera. Although I really prefer to use this, but I guess if we're doing something a little more fancy or whatever, and I need more picture or better picture, then I'll probably put this on. Um, but
Yeah,
anyway, so yeah, so you and I, we kind of went through a month or so, trying to upgrade our equipment and everything. So I had to get myself, back on budget and let me refill what I spent, and reestablish that budget. And today I bought a quarter ounce gold eagle, so I was happy about that. Had enough money built up from, thanks to everybody for the bin sales, and that and just a little extra I just needed to throw in there. Got my quarter ounce on order, so I
nice.
was real happy about that. So thank you to everyone out there for being with us on Wednesday night for our bin sale. So we really appreciate that, and we'll him and I, we'll talk and we'll see when another good time will pop up, and we'll do another one. Maybe we'll have some new stuff that we found, or him, he's got stuff buried somewhere. So
I'm running real low. I mean, besides the PD&S sets, and all I got left is the Wilma Mankiller and Sally Rides. I got the Aztecs. I got the Copper Rounds. I had to pull the Britannias. I accidentally priced them improperly. Um, so those that bought Britannias from me, you're welcome. You got a great deal.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, who knows? I mean, I do have a few things, but I don't have a whole lot. I did a rather large trade recently
hmm,
where I swapped out some higher premium stuff um, of one metal for another type of metal
hmm,
that I was happy with. Um, I wish I would have waited a week, but it would have worked out the same, right? Because
Yeah.
silver drops, and so it, it all comes out in the wash. And again, like I said, for me, the stuff that I'm stacking is a long term deal. I'm not flipping it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
Mm-hmm.
doing any of that stuff.
Same. Same. Same.
And the other stuff I just buy now. I'm just buying what I like to collect. Now I just have to decide, do I want to continue with a certain series, or do I want to dump it and move on to a different series, or I just need to figure all that out. So, um,
Yeah. So unlike people who stack precious metals and maybe a little bit of fiat, which I think you should have. Okay, opinion. I think at home you should have some cash,
yep.
because if the power goes out, you can't get it out of the ATM.
Especially those folks living down in Florida right now. I don't know if you've been
Yeah.
watching the weather. Um, there's a weather guy that I watch on YouTube that he's kind of fun to watch, and he's an actual meteorologist, and he's got a whole staff of people. Um, and he called this probably 5 days ago that this was one to watch because of the different readings, and
Hmm.
he was spot on. It's going exactly where he said it was going to go. So now,
Yeah.
obviously, hurricanes have mind of their own, and who knows what happens once it gets into the Gulf. If it's going to continue on the projected path, if it
Hmm.
does, then it looks like the west coast of Florida is going to get nailed. And they're projecting it right now as a Cat 3.
Oh, this early in
It's not. It's still a tropical depression. I don't even know if it's a.
Yeah, but this should be
That,
the end of the season.
no, not till November 1st.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
we didn't have any in
I'm trying to
August,
think.
which was the first, like the fourth time in 40 years or something like that. It was some
Oh, you're
stat.
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
we didn't have. Yeah. Okay. Now let's think about it. You're right.
yeah. And Paulie Buck made
Yeesh.
a comment I'd like to go back to. He said about
Oh,
stacking plywood.
yep.
Lumber prices are
Are they going back up?
they're dropping like a rock. I don't know. That better off buying boxes of copper pennies, stashing them under your bed.
Well, perpetrator, he mentioned, he stacks and like the renovation work and repairs he does. So when he
Yep.
comes across, you know, copper piping and wiring, hey, yeah. And especially if you get like those earth ground blocks and stuff for like a large residential, like an apartment complex or something, you're going to have all these, grounds converging on a ground block to an earth ground rod, stuff like that. Oh boy, that's a lot of copper. So yeah, I mean, yeah, just stack that stuff, and then when the uh, recycler, whatever the rate, is that the good place to it's worth cash it in, man. So yeah, I mean, you're in a great position, perpetrator, to be able to take advantage of that. Otherwise people, if they didn't know better, they just throw it in the big dumpster and be done with it.
And that that happens. Some
Hmm.
people are smart enough where they want their stuff. If you're doing a renovation, they want their copper or brass.
Yep.
The copper pipes you're taking out. But
Hmm.
most people don't want to. They don't want to mess with it. So, but yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
a good opportunity because
it yeah,
it's
you
one
know,
way of arbitrage that cost him nothing because he's already there ripping the stuff out to
hmm
replace or to fix.
hmm
And
and
if
he's
they don't
probably
want it,
bringing in new wiring or
right,
new piping to
right,
replace old, or
yep,
rebuild a section or install something new. So
yep.
even that's going to generate a little bit of scrap too. So yeah, totally take advantage of that. And I bet you people are out there, picking up aluminum cans.
Oh yeah.
More, more prevalent. I bet.
Now this is going to be a shameless plug.
Hmm.
Corrector just made a post there. Probably 2 years ago, I bought a Zippo lighter for 200. Now it costs 5 to 6. Look for a new video from me finally to be dropping, hopefully tomorrow,
Got to do some
that
content.
addresses addresses something similar along those lines. I'm not talking just Zippos, but I'm talking collectibles. Hence my name, Gen X Collectibles. So, point is that there's other things that people collect that increase in value. Now, I'm going to say the same thing with any type of collectible as I do with your silver and or gold or constitutional or whatever you're buying. Buy what makes you happy. Buy what you enjoy. Get some enjoyment out of it. It's
Yeah.
you can't.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta have some fun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously you got to be fiscally responsible, right? You got to diversify in different things. But he's right. Some of those Zippos, especially you get an older original Zippo from what was it, 37 or 38 or whatever the first one is. Those things go
Yeah.
sell for thousands of dollars.
Oh yeah. Or maybe something from during the World War II era.
Yep.
You know.
World War II and Vietnam, if
Yeah.
it's
Especially
properly dated.
military ones because
Yep.
they put their units insignia or logo
Yep.
like welded to it or something like that,
Yeah.
or have it specially made.
Well,
You
it's
know.
so bad. It's so valuable that people are faking them, right? They're buying the right era Zippos because there's a
Mm-hmm.
way to tell on the Zippo on how to date it, going
Yeah.
all the way back from when they first started. That was
Right.
one thing that Zippo did was they created a date code formula that they have followed. So people are buying up, Zippos from the 60s through the 70s and then artificially, you know, changing them so that they can get a higher premium saying, yeah, it's from Vietnam when it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't, which is double slime ball, in my opinion. But people counterfeit everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. People want to take advantage and try to make a quick buck.
Down in
You
New
gotta do.
Mexico, you've got an actual 1914. I believe that's a key date, is it not? Where people are m- modifying
Hmm.
1944s to look like a 1914 because of the value. That's cool. So, coin corrector says Zippo 2019 moon landing.
I don't think Artemis is the. I don't think that they're shooting for literally shooting. I think 2025 for the crew to land on the moon,
Well,
and
let's see how the tests go. Aren't they supposed to be doing a major test
yeah,
in the
some
next
kind of.
couple of days
Hmm.
to see when they can reschedule a launch?
Yeah, they're doing some kind of pressure check.
Yeah,
I don't think they're gonna. They're not gonna actually. Light light off the engines, but it's a pressure check, and you're going to see like vapor and clouds coming out because they want to see if there is a leak, where is it coming
yeah,
from. So
absolutely. But the last thing
yeah,
you need is for a brand new project that they've been touting. We're going back to the moon and have the first test not go well or have to
yeah,
be aborted after takeoff if it clears the launch pad. That is, they don't. That would not look. That would be very bad PR.
yeah, there would be. And NASA's trying to they're trying to reinvent themselves with this whole new Artemis program.
Yeah.
But anyway, so all the way back to the original question. So yeah, I'm
Yep.
back on my budget, back on my schedule. So I feel good about that. So yeah, I'm even through all the turmoil and economics and inflation and all that stuff. For me, the key for me is just like you said, Mr. X. I have a budget and I'm going to stick to it. And if even if the numbers dip so low, if the budget isn't there, well, I miss out.
Yep. Exactly.
I'm not going to dive into my money market account to move those funds because that's going to take 24 48 hours for it to move anyway. And by that time the dip goes low, and guess what, it goes right back up the next day.
Yeah.
Some of the time. So,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people say, "Oh yeah," that's one thing. Small rant. When the online bullion dealers and some folks out here in YouTube land, they like to kind of say, "Buy on the dip, buy on the dip."
Well, everybody likes to buy low and sell high. I
Of
mean,
course, we all do.
it's
You
like
know.
that's a captain obvious statement, but nobody knows. Like we had a dip this week.
Mhm.
Is it going to drop again next week? I don't. I got to put batteries in my crystal ball. I don't know. I don't think anybody knows. You know. Now, could it go up because it dropped so low?
Mhm.
Possibly. People may convert some stuff over and start buying and move the price up a little bit. But I still think that there's too much. I'm talking about gold. Um, Silver, I think that there's a potential for more upside short term for silver, but I don't think that that's going to happen until I just don't think that I I don't know because I think there's too much manipulation
What?
been done.
Yeah. There's way too many variables.
Yeah,
Way too many.
and it's so oversold. The paper market is
Hmm.
what did I hear? 900 to 1,
Oh, I
800 to
don't
1
know.
for every 800 ounces on paper. There's actually 1 ounce of physical, something screwy like that.
That's weird.
And most places you can't even cash it in for an ounce of silver.
Oh, hey, by
It's
the
just
way,
strictly paper.
Celtic Knot, good evening. Thanks for joining us. By the way, just saw you
That's
pop up in the chat here.
yep.
And he says, good luck finding metals at spot unless you buy from the public at spot minus.
Yeah, and that's not going to happen.
No.
Um, and Polly Buck's got a great point. If you're buying 17 over spot for an eagle, you're some type of dip for sure. Well, I, 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 I'll say it. I tend to agree. That's why I'm not buying silver eagles. I would rather
Mm,
buy silver eagles if I was buying silver. Um, but for the price that you're paying for silver eagle, I can get it a nice collectible
mhm.
or something that I think is cool.
Yeah.
That will bring a premium and normally holds a premium. Um, if I decide to sell, like I said, I've got, and I know you do, we both do. We've got a couple of collections that we've got going.
Hmm.
We had a little race there for a minute. Um,
Oh, by 2019, Krug arrived today, so
yeah,
I'm caught up.
okay, so you tied me there. The
Yeah.
only thing that I'm behind on is I got to find my 2020 Dragon Bar.
Oh.
Um, where was I going with that? Oh, yeah, paying American Eagle spot is absolutely ridiculous, and they really need. I think they really need to look at the whole supply chain when it comes to silver and who's controlling that. You've got one company that's basically controlling what over 50% of the entire process from getting it out of the ground to selling it to the public.
And just
Um,
and now distributing it
that's
to
yeah, that's
the resellers, and then now significant controlling
the resellers
share
themselves.
of the online
Yeah.
dealers, online
Yes.
bullion dealers.
Yeah. I think
So
that needs to be revisited. That that's.
to
I
me,
don't
that
have a
sounds like
problem
a
with companies
monopoly.
making money. I don't have a. I'm all for capitalism.
Oh yes.
Monopolies, on the other hand, that's a different issue. There's they own too much of the supply chain from start to finish that I think needs to be at least investigated and or doing something. And I know Silver Wolverine has touched on this. I know you have touched on this. Um, you have touched on it quite a bit, and that is about American citizens not being able to buy bullion directly from the mint. Um, I think all that needs to be revisited. But I think now you get back into politics, right? I think that
Of
there's
course.
lobbyists and there's different things that's going on where, you know, we keep it to a select, what is it, 12 or 18 people that can buy directly from the mint. And they're only paying, what, $2 over spot.
Mm-hmm.
And, and then they do their markup and everything else. So it's like no other business. I understand that they have to replace that inventory, but it's also the risk that you take when you get into some like precious metals, and let's say they stocked up and they bought when it was $24 an ounce or
Mm-hmm.
$25 an ounce, and having to sell it back then for $2.99 over spot. So they're selling for $28, $29. Well, now spot is where it's at, and so they're taking a bath. Well, unfortunately, that's what happens when you get into commodities, right?
Yeah. Well,
No,
the
no
thing
different than
is,
me and you if we buy stock, or
yeah.
let's say we bought Bitcoin when it was 40
Mm-hmm.
or 35 when on the way down and thought, boy, we got a great deal. Well, now it's 18. That's the gamble that
Dollar
we were
cost
taking.
average.
Yeah, exactly. Don't make me get my hat up. So I don't know if that addresses the question directly, but I agree that for me, it's the same thing. And I see lots of other people have just said something similar. They are buying. Um, they're not saying what, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's see. You have
Well, the
Eagles
thing
at
is,
spot plus 17. Any buyers?
yeah,
Celtic not. Yeah. Good luck on that.
yeah. And if and you look at, I'm sure everybody gets like the little email alerts from all the online bullion dealers. You can get a tube of, even with Her Majesty, passing, you can still get it. You can get a tube of Brits or the Austrian Philharmonics or Kangaroos,
I
and
don't know
there's
about the Brits, but Philharmonics. Yes.
yeah, well, okay, and you could get they're trying to sell them by the tubes, and yeah, they're premium, it's like what, 299, maybe 399 over spot, stuff like that. But yet our ASE is still what, 17-20 dollars over spot, and it
Correct.
hasn't,
And
the
Polybuck just did
price
a
on those
video
hasn't
on it
moved.
today. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm say Polybuck just did a video on it today. I think he mentioned it with his
Oh,
video.
I'm so
And
behind on videos. Oh, sorry, folks.
he was talking about because he showed off his 10th ounce gold challenge coin.
Yeah, I got to do my
And
I need to do my update.
and
for
it
the
could be, I
challenge.
don't know. I watch many different videos, but I thought it was Polybuck that said, paying 90 to 100% premium for Silver Eagle.
Mm-hmm.
Even at I think he was comparing that people were saying, well, buying a 10th ounce of gold is crazy because of the premium that you're paying.
Mm-hmm.
True, you are paying a higher premium for a 10th ounce or a quarter ounce or a half ounce. But when you compare it to the people that are buying silver, I agree with him. It's a no-brainer. I'd rather spend the money on paying 8% or 9% or 10% of premium for gold than 40% or 35%
Yeah,
for
I agree.
silver. Even though it costs less, obviously, to get an ounce of silver, even at that premium, than a 10th ounce of gold. But again, for me, it's a long-term thing. So if you're a flipper or a reseller, it's the chances that you take. I mean, I'm sitting on a bunch of generics that I overpaid for because I bought it at the wrong time.
Yeah.
So I just sit and wait and hope that spot gets back up high enough where I can at least unload them not for a profit, just to so I can free up the capital that's sitting in that physical silver.
Yep.
That's it. I mean, I don't have any, and if nothing else, if I have to hold on to them, then so be it. Then I'm sitting on some generic rounds for who knows how long.
I mean, eventually, when the economy and inflation goes down, and economy improves, and when the market returns to a better condition, I'm sure the spot and everything will go up. When will that happen? Who knows?
Yeah,
But it's cyclical.
it is cyclical. And
It's
there was
cyclical.
another video that I
Cyclical.
watched. Um, now I can't remember. Was it Clean Money? I want to give credit where credit is due. I believe it was Clean Money.
Mhm.
I know Silver Forever did a video where he broke down all the gold. Man after my own heart. He broke down from 1986 through present every single piece of gold that the U.S. Mint has minted in all sizes and the volume.
Did he? Oh,
Yes.
wow.
Yeah,
I
it was
must
pretty
have missed
cool.
that. Oh, I'll have to go back and take a
So
look.
I can't remember if it was Silver Forever or Clean Money, but one of them had shown some information that although gold is down, that normally the cycle that the trend, now obviously past performance does not guarantee future returns, right?
Hmm.
That gold on average will go down for in a bear market for 3 years at a maximum, and it's been in a bear market for 2 now. So sooner or later, probably later, it'll start breaking itself out. Silver, on the other hand, who knows? I mean,
It's
the
way too
numbers,
volatile.
those numbers
Yeah,
are crazy.
yeah.
Well, and because it's, I mean, there's industrial uses for gold, but there's much
But
more
silver
industrial
is
uses.
used much more significantly in industry than gold.
Correct.
For sure. Real quick, hey Donald, thanks for joining us this evening. Appreciate you being here, my friend, my brother. So you have a good weekend as well. Be well, be safe,
Yep, I agree. Be safe,
and
Donald.
yeah, and I highlighted what Polybuck said, and yeah, I'm him and I are I think we completely agree. If you got to bug out, I rather grab that tube of gold than haul all that
Yep.
silver for sure. But my opinion, if you're starting out, sure, build a little stash of silver, and then you know be done with it. How
Or
much?
if you want to
That's
stack
up to
silver,
you.
there's nothing wrong with stacking silver.
No, not at
I don't.
all.
I I would encourage you to acquire some type of precious metal, um, over just having a fiat dollar. But again, then you run into storage and weight, and you start running into other issues. Um, but all that can be addressed, depending on your
Yeah,
situation. It can
yeah,
be addressed.
yeah. It's all
So
about your
I would,
budgeting, your
yep,
planning.
yep,
How and how you're going to go about executing your
yep.
budget and your plan.
And
So
if all you can afford is an ounce of silver every other week or something like that, great. More power to
that's
you.
awesome.
It's a way of saving. If
Yeah.
it's either that or you know
Oh,
you go to the
speaking
bar for a night or something,
of,
and
or
seriously, I can buy
yeah.
a ounce of silver or 2 ounces of silver a month
Mhm.
instead of just wasting it. Just don't go to Starbucks for
I was just going to use the Starbucks
yeah,
analogy.
yeah,
Cut out what couple of lattes a week. Bam, you got with spot where it is 3 lattes. You got a ounce of
yeah,
silver,
yeah.
roughly.
So either or, just
Depending if you order the small or the grande.
I always get the grande, but I
Yeah,
haven't had a Starbucks and I can't tell you how long.
yeah, me too. My taste has changed, and their roast is just way too burnt. I don't do Starbucks anymore.
Yeah,
I go to a
go
place called White Bison.
bad
They're really good. Huh?
bad gateway. I gotta. I should laugh at this.
Don't highlight that.
It's true.
I agree, but don't. I don't want to get in trouble.
Bad gateway. You're bad, bad gateway.
Bad, bad. Shame on you. Oh,
But
that's
it's true.
funny.
Once you start buying gold, it's like, oh, this is pretty. This is shiny. This is nice. But I got the same rush when I first started. When I was buying silver, so
Yeah, when I bought my first two, and it was a two of Eagles, and I'm like holding it, like, wow, that was kind of my first thing that just popped my head, like, wow. I mean, to feel the weight of that. I mean, that was cool.
and
I
then
mean, yeah, there is that.
get your first ounce of gold, and you compare the two, and it's like,
I think who was it?
I mean, an ounce is an ounce, but it's just the size and it just feels different. To me, it feels different. That's all.
I can't.
You don't
remember
need to apologize, Bad Gateway. You're good.
Nah, man,
You got us both laughing.
Yeah, no, we're messing with you. No, there is. I can't remember if it was Silver Ocean or Two is One. I think it was Two is One, and I made a comment about, I got my first buffalo, and I just love it, but so much better than the eagle, in terms of the way it looks, and and it does feel a little more substantial. And then I think he made the comments like, "Hey, welcome to having the gold fever," you know. And there's something about that, you know.
Yeah, buffaloes. So, I love buffaloes. I think.
Well, remember you? Yeah, you mean we were like in a green room or something. I was just like, that's it. I'm finally getting my first one, and then I got it. Remember, I got it, and then I think we were in the green room when he came in. I was like, look what I got! Look what I got! Yeah. I was so excited to get my first buffalo.
Yeah,
that was great.
like a kid at Christmas. Stacking Perpetrator picked up 2 Norfed $10 silver rounds earlier this week for 23 each. Okay. I don't know what that means. What's a Norfed $10 silver round? You know what a Norfed $10 silver round is? Is it 1 ounce or is it 2 ounces, or I don't know. I'm collecting also Starbucks cups. Been there series. Okay.
Yeah, there's just something about the buffalo, And I know, most, local coin shops and stuff, they're still going to give you slightly more premium back on the eagle versus the buffalo, but
it's about the same. It's about the same if they have the buffaloes. The problem is my local coin shop. He gets buffaloes in, and he can't keep them.
People snatching them up as soon as they come in.
Yeah, they're
more or
gone.
less.
Yeah, they're gone. Or he's also a collector stacker. So my guess is buffalo comes in and probably buys it, puts it in his own stack, which I don't blame him.
Hey, perpetrator, what is that? Norfed? What is that? Norfed, is that like a acronym for a private men that went out of business or something like that? We were curious because you said you got two of those $10 silver rounds earlier this week for 23 each, which sounds like a good deal. But we're just curious about what the Norfed $10 silver round is.
Hey, so they got in trouble with the government and almost did 22 years in jail, but only got a year probation. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Celtic Knot, yeah. Gold buffaloes and or gold eagles. I mean, you're going to get a little bit of the premium back, but they're only giving, they'll give you 1 or 2% over spot. You're not going to get the. If it's 1 ounce, there's obviously 1 ounce with the buffaloes. You're not going to get the 4 or 5% premium. But again, like we've said many times, you know, should be a long-term hold. Um, so in 10 years, I would assume that both gold and silver, gold particularly, will be higher than what I paid, and I'd get my premium back. If I paid $200 for a 10th ounce last year, and in 10 years, an ounce of gold is 2,500, let's say, then it's $250 for a 10th ounce, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I sold it today, yeah, I'd lose money. I'd lose my shirt.
Yeah.
On paper, I am down, but I'm not down because I haven't sold it, right?
Yep. Oh, perpetrator said they minted silver rounds with a $10 monetary value in 2000. So I guess that's what he's referring.
They were putting a monetary value on it. Yeah,
Okay.
you can't do that.
Yep. Okay. Oh,
Now I get it.
yeah. Something I've noticed in our community, um, when a lot of people, talk about precious metals, they were saying wealth protection, but now they're saying savings account. I mean, yeah, it's kind of the same, but I mean, big picture wise, yeah, it's in essence, it's kind of this. It's the same thing, but it really isn't. Wealth protection is the term is too broad.
Right.
But when you say I'm buying silver or in precious metals and as a savings account, see that's different because it's specific.
Right.
You're forcing yourself to convert your fiat into precious metals as it's like a physical CD.
Right.
Instead of a piece of paper certificate of deposit piece of paper, you're actually holding the real deal.
Right.
And just like a CD, you got to go through steps to cash it out and stuff. Well, with this, you got to do the same thing. But the difference is, the CD is either electronic or a piece of paper or whatever versus a physical, piece of metal in your hand, precious metal in your hand.
Right.
So I like how they stopped saying, wealth protection and saying savings account instead, because to me, that's much more realistic
Yeah.
and more relatable.
I
Because
can't
you can
remember.
use anything for wealth protection. You can
Yeah.
go out and buy expensive Van Gogh paintings, as your wealth protection, or super expensive muscle cars, So I think that term's just too broad. But
Comic books or any type of, you can
oh
use any,
yeah,
you can insert any collectible here,
yeah.
right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
I know it was 6 months, 8 months ago. I had done a breakdown. Um, about back then, it was people were saying, well, you should stack silver for inflation protection. And when inflation was low, like it had been for a long time, that was fairly accurate. And I had broken it down and compared it to like a gallon of gas, you
Mm-hmm.
know, um, one or a gallon of milk or something like that, whatever it was. And the ratio had always stayed the same since like 1964 up until now. Here, once inflation started taking off, and the silver spot prices went the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
That's no longer the case, and it's the first time in a very long time where it's not keeping up with inflation.
Right.
So I agree. If you want to use it as a savings or a way to save, then I agree. I mean,
Uh,
because you've got to go through more steps. You just can't reach in your wallet, like a $10 bill or a $20 bill and spend it on chips and fast food. If you got $20 worth of silver or whatever metal, you've got steps that you've got to take. So,
Hmm.
not that you still can't do that. I mean, you can still walk into your local coin shop and get whatever for it to get the cash. But
But going through those steps, it takes time, and
correct,
then in hopefully that time will make you pause and think. Wait a minute, what am I doing? What am I doing? Why am I doing this? And should I do this?
right,
Do I really need to do this, or do I have other means to take care of the issue that I'm trying to solve?
right. And like we mentioned earlier, with winter approaching, um, fuel costs, heating costs,
Mm,
all that kind of stuff.
yeah.
Um, Income's not keeping up with inflation, obviously. So there's going to be a lot
Mm-mm.
of belt tightening, and I mean that's what is it? Netflix is finally
Uh,
seeing loss of subscriptions.
yeah. Hmm.
Um,
You're going to see a lot of that
so
happening.
I think you're going to see a lot of those type of streaming
Yep.
things.
Yeah, people are going to have to make decisions like, okay, this,
Right, we're
this
spending,
is not a necessity. Bye bye.
yeah, I'm paying $30 or $40 a month for two or three streaming services, and I get
Yeah,
rid of that, and now I've got money to put food on the table or
yeah,
whatever they need to do.
yeah. And speaking of food, uh, this afternoon I was listening to a little bit of local talk radio. Uh, all the food banks in northern Alabama and overall the state, they are running literally dry. Their shelves are no, no, they often they say, yeah, we're running low, we need donations. No, 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 they're empty,
Yeah, I think that's
absolutely
I,
empty.
I think that's nationwide.
Yeah. And and the other problem they're having is, yeah, they're, people make donations and all, but they don't have the same, buying power that they want, that they typically have because of inflation. So they can't buy big bulk like they used to. So it's affecting. Yeah, it's it may not be visually obvious, but you know, people are being affected. They really are.
Yep. So I mean, that's going to be a lot of people who are going to have to revisiting their budgets, in my opinion. Um, Stefan's so
Yeah,
straight up.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that we're highlighting that.
Um, but people are adjusting their budgets, and hopefully, you know, you've got extra money now for in your budget. There should be a line for obviously savings, short-term savings, um, and then long-term savings and/or investment. And it's probably they had $50. Like I was saying earlier, if they had $50 a month before, and with everything else and food prices and heating fuel, and now they only got $10 a month. Hey, saving $10 is better than nothing, in my opinion.
Yeah, and like using the Starbucks analogy, cut back on the lattes. There you go. There's your 1 ounce of
There's your
silver for the
$6 or $7. You
yeah.
do that once a week. There's your ounce of silver.
Yep. Yeah. It's just got it. You just have to start making these kind of decisions. And by the way, I last time I had a Big Mac, I think it was like years ago. Because I don't like that sauce. Never did. The Was it like a Thousand Islands dressing or something?
Yeah,
Never liked it.
yeah.
And actually, I haven't eaten at McDonald's in I want to say 8 months.
Yeah, I haven't had McDonald's in a while.
I just can't eat their food anymore.
The only thing I can eat is their quarter pounders because they're fresh again.
Oh,
It's,
I'm.
they're not frozen or pre-cooked. They actually cook it for you
Oh, do
there,
they?
like they used to do before. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Once upon a time when we were kids.
Yeah. Well, they brought them. They brought them back that way. I don't know, 2 years ago. Where I
Oh,
think they're
did
still
I?
doing it that way, but I haven't eaten at McDonald's in forever. Um, my fast food of choice for a burger would be Culver's because I know that it's fresh and they're all smash burgers and they cook it to demand. They don't pre-cook anything there, not even your French fries. So you order fries, they drop an order of fries.
Oh, hey, Miss Kenomine. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I just
Yes.
saw you pop up in the chat here.
Yep.
Thanks, sir. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you being here. Spend a little bit of your Friday with us. But I live a very simple life as it is, doing without moves, without more will hurt, but it can be done. Yes, it can. Yeah, that's right. Hunger would
Yeah.
bother anyone. Yeah,
Yes. You
yeah.
definitely need.
When you go into starvation, yeah, that's when the fight or flight thing kicks. Well, I'm not a psychologist, but your rational thought and all that just out the window. You're all
Yeah.
about you're in survival mode.
Right. Yep. Uh, Celtic knot has a good point. Um, the only thing that I'll say to that comment is it depends on where you have your money at. I mean, if you're just sitting on a stockpile of cash, again, it's cyclical, just like the Don said. It goes up and it goes down. And right now, it's up and it's driving all the other markets down.
Look who finally joined us, slacker.
Mr. Resnick, you joined us with for me, about 18 minutes before I have to. Actually, I need to put myself. I got to stand up, so I'm gonna stop my camera. Oh,
Hey, yeah, Celtic knot. You may, yeah. Uh, yeah, I think building up a reserve, food and basic essentials at home. I think that's definitely you know the prepper type people. They would say, "Oh, you should have started this years and years ago." Okay, whatever. Uh, but if you're like at Costco or Sam's Club, I they're probably the better deal if you don't mind buying in bulk. It probably it's still going to be expensive, but it's probably a little cheaper than the typical grocery store. So yeah, go in there and buy one extra thing of whatever, and next time you're in there buy one extra of something else.
yep,
And if you don't have a membership to the big box stores like that, then if you go to the grocery store, you buy typically one or two cans of soup, just buy one more, and the next time just buy one more, and then take that one extra and set that on the shelf and don't touch it.
well,
And you
I
can
know a lot of the stores here for years they used to have 10 for 10 sales, right?
yeah.
Whether it be soup or whatever. And now it's 7 for 10.
Yeah. Well,
So, it's part of it, And I guess it all
but
works out fine if the can or the serving size that you're buying is the same.
yeah, well, I mean, seven for what you say, 7 cans for $10. That's better than them being $3 each.
Correct. Correct. It's still a
So
savings.
you know, and um, funny thing, where do coupons go?
Well, most people don't get newspapers. I do get a flyer every month or every
Hmm.
week that has coupons in it. And then once a month, I get a big book that gets
Hmm.
mailed to me. But if you get the Sunday paper still, they still have coupons in it. But most people don't get the paper. I know we stopped getting the paper years ago.
Mm.
Um, And a lot of the places, at least the grocery stores up this way, you join up. You get the little tag,
Oh yeah, their
so you
preferred
would
shopper
automatic
card,
if
earn points. Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
And so they also have, if you're a card member, then it's this price, and if you're not, then it's 1 or 2 cents
Hmm.
more. So
Yeah. So definitely, take advantage of those programs, because they offer, like you said, like Gen X said, they'll offer a special deal for, for members. Just take advantage of that. I mean, when these flyers come out, if they get them in, I'm sure everybody gets that big stack of junk mail flyers, but
yeah,
nowadays,
I always go through it and
go
take a look
go
and see.
through it now. Go
Yep.
find the ones for the grocery store, or places that you go regularly to buy, whether it's food or supplies or whatever, and actually start, kind of spending some time looking at it and start strategizing. Hey, this week, oh, Publix, ship's what we have, one of the big
Yep.
grocery
Yep.
chains we have, Publix. I open up, go, oh, this week they have, actually soup. And I was like, oh yeah, cool. So this week I'm buying soup.
Yeah.
I go in there and buy a couple extra, while this, deal is on. So
Yeah.
you're gonna have to start strategizing on
Yep.
on
Absolutely.
your purchases.
Yeah. Heather's chubby hubby.
Hey,
Welcome.
what's up? How you doing, brother? Glad you could be here. Thanks for spending some of your Friday evening with us.
I'm here. I'm not hiding behind my icon on purpose. I have to stand up and stretch my back occasionally. So you'll be
Yeah,
seeing me
no.
doing more of this because I've been hurting myself by staying on camera for so long without standing up. So,
Well, and you've been busy around the house too, getting ready for the fall season.
well, the only thing I do is I got to get the snowblower out of the shed and all that. But hopefully I've got time for that. I mean,
Yeah,
it's still September, but we have had snow here for Halloween before. But that is on my plan. It's supposed to warm back up into the upper 60s next week. So I'm going to be rearranging stuff and get the snowblower going. And I got to fill up the gas cans and make sure
yeah,
everything's ready for the generator and all that stuff.
yeah. That's still on my shopping list. I still want to get a generator. I don't want to get a big super, power the whole house. I just want, maybe 3,000 watts. Enough to, if it's summertime, really, keep the refrigerator going. So the food doesn't
That's
spoil, and enough to, like, run the TV at the same time so I can, hear the news and stuff like that, because I got one of those digital antennas.
yep.
So so I can get my local news and everything that way. So I'm not dependent on internet streaming.
Right. And
So
mine's strong enough. I can run my freezer, my refrigerator, and my sump pump.
mm,
And I could plug, a couple more things into it if I had to, but that was the big reason. Um, so I
oh
don't lose the freezer full of meat
yeah.
and my sump
Hmm.
pump, obviously, because I don't want my basement to flood.
Exactly. Oh, Andy's asking, don't generators require a lot of maintenance? It Yeah,
I
like
just,
Celtic Knot said, they do require a lot of fuel. But generators nowadays, no, they're pretty easy to keep up with. I mean, if you
yeah, the
can,
newer ones,
yeah,
mine's a little bit older, um, older by saying like 8 years old, 9 years old. Now they've got the newer ones are much quieter. And I just started up, every 4 or 5 weeks or so just to make sure everything stays lubed and,
yeah,
and ready to go for when I need it. So other than that,
yeah. The one I was looking at is the uh, uh, Generac
yeah,
3300 I series, I think it was. So it's like 3,000 watt peak. And I went and looked, how much watts from my refrigerator to TV, and then added a couple of watts for recharging my phone
yeah,
or my computer. And I was like, oh yeah, that's plenty. You
yeah,
know, as long as I don't turn the stove on.
yeah.
you know,
Well, and my sump pump, we put a battery backup
Okay, yeah,
on
that's
it.
smart. Yeah.
So
So no,
that's passively
modern,
charging.
yeah, modern, generators. No, I think they're pretty. The maintenance is pretty easy. The one I'm looking at, it's a bit heavy, but you can carry it. And reading up on it, when you first get it, they want you you put the oil in, and they want you to fill it up, fill the tank full, and let it run completely off that full tank of gas until it, you know, burns it out, and then change the oil to get all the little metal flakes and everything out. So
Ah,
change the oil, and then you're ready to go. And then it's just a regular, maintenance schedule, just like your car. Change the oil, and every so often, and just like Gen X suggested, and every here and there, take it out, let it run for 10-15 minutes to make sure everything gets lubed and all
yep,
that jazz, and then you should be fine.
yep.
Oh, I'm trying to. It's Mr. Plaintiff Prophet
Yeah.
parentheses Mint Hunter Group on Telegram. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Do
Yes.
you stack comics or just precious metals? Um, if you're asking me, um, precious metals, I do have comic books from when I was a kid. I still have them, and my plan is to get rid of them. So they'll probably be going up on eBay in the next, hopefully in the next month or so.
Yep.
But I got to learn, you know, what are these comic books going for nowadays? In raw form. I don't have any graded comic books. So I got to figure. I got to learn all these steps. Plus, how do you actually ship comic books?
Very
you
carefully.
know, yeah, exactly, very carefully. Buy one of those big red rubber stamps. Please do not fold or bend the package.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Um, I myself only stack um, just precious metals. That doesn't mean that I don't have small collections here and there of other items that I enjoy. And again, shameless plug. I will be addressing that in an upcoming video very soon for all collectibles because he's right. I mean, there's money in comic books. There's money in anything and everything. Um, but I don't know the comic books other than when I was a kid. I bought them, and like a typical kid, you know, I read them and they got rolled up and put in my back pocket when I hopped on my bike to go to my buddy's house. You know,
Yep. Pull it out, read it again, roll it
yeah,
up, or toss it to your buddy.
the only one I regret that I wish I still had, and I did have, and I remember buying it, and it was Star Wars, very first comic book when it
Oh,
first came out. I
oh,
had it. I actually had two. I bought two. I bought one for me and one for a buddy of mine.
yeah.
And I don't even I don't even know what that would sell for if I would have kept that in mint shape. Now, probably a lot of money. Probably five digits, but I don't know because I don't know comic books enough. But I had it, and I remember reading it. Because I went and saw the movie at the movie theater, Don. So I
I
did
know.
see
I know you're
episode. What is it? Episode 4, I guess,
four.
which was
Yeah,
actually
four.
one for
Yeah.
me. Um, and after I went and saw the movie, I went and grabbed the comic book, and it was. And I also believe that Rocky had a short-lived comic book series that came out after Rocky was released, and I had that as well.
Really?
Yes.
Oh. Oh. Okay. I'll top. Well, I don't know if this will top it, but do you remember it was on ABC? I want to say early, probably mid '80s. It was a little 30-minute comedy called Sledgehammer.
No.
Don't remember that? Oh,
No.
yeah. He's like a over the top, kind of like a think of like Dirty Harry, from Clint Eastwood, but more comedic, and he's like super gung ho about pew pews and everything.
Okay.
And yeah, I can't think of the name of the actor that played him, but it only lasted for 2 seasons, but it has a cult following. And Marvel made a 2-issue comic limit series on him on that TV show, and I have them.
Well, there you go. I think that would be worth a lot of money if you still had that, Mr. Resnick. Spidey number 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Spidey number 1, just the cover alone, ripped and torn, but you can see what it is. They'll still sell for $4 or $5 grand. But I'm not a comic books guy, and I think if Paulie Buck was still here, he would jump in because he would know a little bit more.
Yeah,
I know he dabbles a little bit in that. And of course, Empire Precious Metals dabbles a little bit in comic books. So there's quite a few people actually in the community that cross over. Comic books or sports cards,
Yeah, Sean Paul Bernard, he's also into the comics. So if you'll see him in Stormy's auctions, you'll see him in there, and he's very well versed in comic books. So keep an eye out for him, and and you can reach out to him, and if you got questions, he's very approachable and stuff like that, and definitely will give you helpful suggestions.
Yep.
What perpetrator here say? Hold on. I had a solar panel person tell me I need to cut down my natural environment, 62 trees, to install a man-made product on my home to get this, save the planet. I know, right? Hello? Those trees are doing more for this planet than those solar panels would. But I didn't major in biology or horticulture or anything like that. So
I do know that they absorb carbon dioxide and emit oxygen.
Yes, in essence, they filter out carbon.
Yes.
So if you feel really guilty about the whole carbon footprint thing, plant a tree.
Yeah.
And plant a tree. And if you feel really guilty, plant 2.
And then fill up your SUV and go speeding down the highway.
Yep.
It always makes me feel better. Solar panels, actually, if it's done right, Celtic Knot, they're not a complete scam. You can get a little bit back on it. What is a scam is windmills.
I'm sorry, is the windmills?
Yep. They can't produce enough electricity to pay for themselves and the maintenance and or disposal when they become obsolete or need to be replaced.
Especially all these first generation windmills that's been out here for the last 20 years.
That are starting to die.
They're all breaking down, and the materials that they hurried up to make them aren't like recyclable friendly.
Yep.
The polymers and the resins and all that jazz. So and it's funny because I remember when the those wind farms was starting like, oh yeah, this is the way of the future. So but you also had another part of the natural nature world movement. They're like, oh no, it's going to impact the birds because they're going to fly into them and get busted up by the wind by the turbine blades.
And that happens.
Yeah.
Occasionally.
Eagle
but I think more gets sucked into airplane engines than hit fans.
Exactly. Yeah. And those fans are so big. I mean, when they're up at speed, they're still not like, they're not generating a lot of thrust.
No.
Well, really, they don't actually generate thrust per se. So, but I mean, that's a perfect example. All these early generation, what are they going to do? You know, they
And
can't.
again, now this is a personal opinion from a guy that used to buy stuff to build stuff that got sold. I'm not a environmentalist or an expert in alternative energy sources. But I do know, as far as the fan goes, that I did talk to an expert about that specifically and was told some interesting stories about that. So that's why I made that statement.
Excuse me.
But if you still disagree with me, that's fine. I'm not saying that anybody has come out and said that they disagreed, but just stating my opinion.
What Burper said, when you think about it, they want to stop big oil, but then how would they build the windmills without exactly? You know,
Yeah.
they never. Okay, yeah, we're in politics. Yeah, you know, but no, you're right though. How much carbon do they have to, you know, generate in order to make something that's, carbon friendly? You
Which
know,
crack that whole thing cracks me up. Like California, right? They're outlawed the selling of new gas vehicles after what 2030 or 2035 or something
something
like
like
that.
that. Yeah,
And they got rolling brownouts, and they asked the people not to charge their cars
not
at
to
night.
charge to. Yeah,
So
exactly.
what are you
If
gonna
you
do?
already have an electric vehicle, please don't charge it. Our power grid can't handle it.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, and you can't have nuclear, which is the most efficient way of generating power, because the environmentalists then they go really crazy. We don't even
okay.
want to go down that road. We've had a discussion, but build nuclear plants. Europe's been doing it for years. Our U.S. Navy's been doing it for decades and decades.
Decades. Okay.
And
When I was at Newport News Shipbuilding, the waterfront, the shipyard was literally downtown Newport News. They had sky, they had tall buildings, they had apartment complexes, they had townhouses because it's right there on the water. And the motto of my test group, because we were the nuclear test engineering group, our joke, slogan is, we operate nuclear reactors safely in downtown Newport News.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
the
when we
problem
build it,
is the
yeah.
problem is we had a couple of incidents, unfortunately, and it turned it all political,
Hmm. Yeah,
and that's what happens.
yeah. Or then you can exacerbate what happened in, certain what used to be in, Eastern Bloc country, and then unfortunately what happened, in the Pacific.
Well,
So.
the unfortunate thing was in the Pacific was it was a perfect storm. I mean, there was
Oh
nothing
yeah,
wrong with it. Just you had an earthquake and a
tsunami at the same time.
tsunami at the same time.
Yeah,
Now the Chernobyl one, that was
that was a whole. There was a lot of factors.
there was a lot of factors in that. And then
Terrible, poor design, poor
yeah, I would
operations,
say
poor maintenance.
yeah,
It just
poor
accumulated.
building materials,
Exact.
the whole
Yeah.
thing. So
Yep.
that was different. Anyway, well, I guess we can get off that soapbox. But again, back to I just think it was funny that
It is funny
California
though.
is pushing that. And oh, by the way, you can't charge your electric car. Okay, how do I get to work?
Yeah. Walk. Oh no, you can't do that because when you're breathing, you're putting out too much carbon dioxide.
I don't know. I don't know how we get on these tangents.
I
Like
don't
talking
know.
about should we stack or not stack. My answer is yes, stack within your
Yes.
budget
Yes.
with what you like to stack, whether it be sold silver or gold. Don't matter to me. Platinum, palladium,
Yeah.
rhodium,
Oh,
whatever
speaking
you
of,
want to stack.
no,
stack.
no, yeah, you're talking about platinum. The boys here were talking about. I think Corrector brought it up. I wanted to highlight it because. Hey, Silver Frogman. Good evening. I just noticed you posted a comment. Good evening. Thanks for
Yep.
joining us.
Good evening.
Oh, anyway, well, I'll just read it from the other chat window. He's talking about the 1/10 kookaburras.
Yep.
And I believe it's the gold, the 1/10 gold ones, and they only had 2 years in platinum in 1/10 for the kookaburras. So I think it was, this year and last year, I think, for the platinums.
Oh, okay.
I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I might have that wrong,
Yeah,
because
I
I
don't
do
know.
have the 2022 platinum 1/10 kook. So,
Oh, that's right. You did grab one of those.
yeah, yeah. Do I need it? No, I just thought I enjoy the kookaburra line from Perth. So, just buy just one for the collection, and it's all good.
Yeah. Yeah. The only platinum I have is I got a 1/4 ounce Canadian platinum that I think they only did for 1 or 2 years. Same type thing. But it was a 1/4 ounce.
Yeah. Well, I think with correct me, guys. With the platinum kooks, I think they just started that. So yeah, so I guess I need to go back last year and get the first one.
Yeah,
Oh, thank you, Platinum 20. Okay, so yeah, they did start it last year. Okay, good.
Okay.
So hopefully I'll be able to find it. I'll probably have to pay a little bit more for it, but whatever. I'm just gonna buy one.
Silver Oceans. Hello.
Hey, Silver Oceans. Oh yeah, I got your. Finally went by the post office. So thank you, sir, and I will send you a. Yeah, you're gonna get stickers.
When he says
Everybody in the community, to go ahead in the chat, tell what Silver Ocean's going to get. He's going to
you're
get.
going to get a stack of stickers.
That's right. Not only are you stacking gold or silver or maybe gold and some other precious metals, you're also going to stack stickers. Compliments of the Dawn.
And he's got a few different types.
I went crazy on those things because when I was getting this channel going, I just had a whole bunch of ideas, and I was just like, "Oh, that would be great on a sticker." And then Sticker Mule will come out, "Hey, make 50 stickers for $29." I'm like, "Oh."
They just ran one for the holographics again.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? Yeah, but I was like, no, I'm gonna get back on budget. Let me go through. Let me, use it. Give all those I have out, and then I'll go back and figure out, okay, what am I really going to keep or whatever, and I want to make some slight changes and everything. So, oh, by the way, speaking of stickers, if any of you would like a stack of stickers from the Department of Numismatics, just send me your contact info to my email address. Can I bring that up here? Will I show up here? Yeah. Ignore the Cash App thing. So department, send your contact info to departmentnewsmatics@gmail.com. And if you're interested in a stack of stickers from the channel, complimentary, no problem. Just, send me the address you like it mailed to, and I will happily send you a complimentary stack.
What happened? Oh, there it is. Boom. I gotta work on that.
Yeah. No, Miss Kinomine. No, I have not yet worked on your commercial jingle. I've been kind of busy this past week.
Yeah.
Ask him.
Yeah, he has been busy. So Andy's saying he's collected all the platinum Eagles since '99 and went back and got the '97 and '98s. Better ways to spend money. Andy Resnick.
Really? Oh wow.
Andy, it's a collection. You're supposed to have fun.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all. If I know they made a 1/10 platinum Britannia, and they only 3 years, 22, 21, and 20, I believe. So, yeah, I'm gonna go and get those. Just one of each. Yeah, I think I think it'll be fun to collect those little 10th-ounce platinums here and there. So that's the fun factor.
Yeah, the price and the premiums and stuff.
I'm not stacking them,
No.
so no big
Well,
deal.
I shouldn't say no. I mean, I,
You do you, and I
Yep.
do me.
Yep. Exactly. Yep. Collect what you
Yeah,
got.
yeah, that's right, Miss Kiddo. Yeah, yeah. I got to work on your jingle, and I've been waiting for HVAC. Where are you, HVAC? I need to work on
I
your.
haven't seen him.
So Kiddo, my thing. I got your got some of the highlights of what you want in your jingle, so I got to work on that, and then I got to take HVACs and clean it up because I got so many notes and everything. So I got to clean this up so it's a nice script, and then I have another one for Miss Brown Sugar, but I haven't seen her around yet, so I need to clean this one up for her. So yeah, so you are the next commercial jingle that we're working on, and then if we like what we have, then I'll probably make one for Andy. I have no idea what I'm going to do with that, but yeah, I think Andy's going to be my next jingle. Yeah, that's right, Mr. Werner. Yeah, do what you want to collect. There's nothing. Yep. Yeah. If it makes you happy, do it.
It's no different than
just don't kill yourself doing it.
collecting cougar ends, silver.
Yep.
Got them all, right?
Yeah, Andy Jiggle. Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Oh my.
So I mean, we backdated all the way back to the beginning, which was what 2017 with Cougs.
Yep, we did. Oh, wait.
Uh-oh.
Good evening, Imperious Leader.
Yes.
He is here. And no, you cannot change the background.
No, but you see what his question is?
Oh, did he ask a different question? Where the hell's my wrench? Okay. Well, I don't have a, knighting thing, so no, I don't want to do that. Let's see.
Why is
Okay.
taking my background color?
There you go.
That's a good
Sir
question.
Stormy, you are now hereby wrenched. Yeah, now he can do damage. Yeah, he is a little upset with me because, he has a private chat on Instagram, and I woke up early this morning and I was just so out of it. And the guys, when they chat and the screen is just flying and flying
by.
And I don't know what I did, but I tried to like touch the screen to make it stop just so I could kind of catch up. And apparently I swiped in a certain direction and it changes the background. So it just went from just a regular plain white background to like the Smurf village or something like that.
Yeah, then
and then he corrected it, but I was trying to correct it at the same time. So it was either Stormy or Polly or somebody, and they corrected it back. But then I was trying to correct it back too, and then I went to from like the Smurf village to like Candyland or something.
It was funny to read because I didn't see it early. I mean, I was up early and I laid back down, and when I got up to get caught up on stuff, and I'm looking through them, I just started laughing. Oh, now what did he do?
Yeah. So I went into timeout.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went into timeout.
I believe there was a cartoon posted.
Yes, there was.
Yes,
there was. There was an animated meme. Yeah.
Yep.
But seriously, I was just so out of it. And I was just,
kid, that's why you don't play with your cell phone until you've had a cup of coffee or can at least see.
Yes, exactly. Oh.
Let's see. Well, I know what Empire Precious Metals would say to your topic.
Oh.
I am pretty sure that he would say to stack.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thanks for stopping in, Empire. He just came in for a wrench, and he said, "Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
I
he
got what I
wanted.
wanted. I'm out
Yeah,
of here."
that's right. Don't ask me any questions because
Don't
it might
ask.
lead to a video.
Don't bother me. I got my wrench. I'm out of here.
Thanks, Stormy. Thanks, Stormy. Appreciate you
Yep.
stopping in, brother. It's all good.
Yep.
Well, I mean, he gave me a wrench on his channel. Oh, I don't know. I think it was probably late last year. So, I've had a wrench on his channel for a while. So, it's only right that I return the favor.
Yeah.
My little itty bitty channel.
Yeah. And then he gave me one 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. Right. The was the week.
It was the
The week
timing.
of either
Yeah.
when she passed or not passed. And if you
Or
haven't
just
seen
before. Yeah.
it, Stormy, you have to get a sense of humor and everything. But anyway, so I finally got a wrench. So I got to remember if he pops into my stream, actually, I should probably go in there and just give him a wrench so that when he pops on, it's already there, so I don't get yelled at.
Oh, he loves
I am
me.
going to do that.
Yes. Yeah. With Stormy, yeah, we got to do that for sure. Nah, Stormy's a great guy. He's awesome. He's a really good guy. He does a good job, really excellent job with his auctions, and
he puts out good content too.
Yeah, excellent content. I like it when he goes to his shop and talk to Steve. Because Steve's, he's a business and everything, but Steve has plethora of information and knowledge, and I like hearing Steve's opinion a lot. And I tell you, Steve's like spot on.
He's a straight shooter too.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't
Yeah,
skirt the issues.
he doesn't sugarcoat it or anything like that. So,
and most of the coin shops that I've seen interviewed on the channels that I either used to follow and no longer follow or do still follow, they all seem to be that way.
mm-hmm.
Some are more opinionated than others on certain topics, but they all seem to be pretty straightforward. Same thing with Daniel at Coin Help You, same type thing. I don't watch a lot of his stuff anymore, just due to time and everything else. But when he was asked a question or when he was doing a video on a topic, it was normally, the honest truth. No different than Keith, right?
Mm-hmm.
He'll give you an answer. You might not like the answer, but he'll answer your question.
Yeah.
But he's being honest.
Yes. Yeah, he doesn't sugarcoat it.
No.
And I would not want any of them to sugarcoat it.
No, not if they're, and they shouldn't. I mean, it's their business and reputation. So,
yeah,
it doesn't take but somebody to do something wonky once or twice, and the reputation is shot. And what's the saying? Takes
I'm
you
not gonna
10 years to get a reputation and 5 seconds to ruin it or something like that.
Yeah. So it's about like I said, it's all about running the business, being professional.
Yeah.
But reach out to your audience and be helpful as best you can. That's a good thing.
Yep.
And I am not reading Andy's chat. No, not reading it. I'm laughing at it, but I'm not going to read it. Andy, you're so bad. You are so bad.
I got like 8 different comments I can make, and I am not going to fall. I'm not biting, Andy.
No,
I'm not falling for it.
Mm-mm. No, sir.
It's bad enough that I laughed.
Yeah, it's bad enough that I pointed it out, right? At least I didn't highlight it and I didn't read it. Oh my. Uh, now everybody's talking about like silver. Okay, this one I think I could show. This is from Silver Frogman. He says, "So I got my head busted on a 2021 Silver Mint set earlier from the mint for $63 with discount code. That's not a discount. 63 for zero point 0.9 ounces silver, but I'm a sucker sometimes. It happens. And if it's something you like, something you enjoy,
Yeah,
so be it.
there's lots of people that collect those sets. I mean, that was one of them. Did it for decades. I've told the story before. I had every proof set and every proof set from 1958 through the present at one time, and was going down the road of getting all the mint sets and backdating. And I said, "Whoa, wait a minute! I got a banker's box full of proof sets. What am I going to do with this?"
It's interesting. You've obviously been collecting coins and stacking a whole lot longer than I have. Obviously, your tastes have changed.
Yep.
Since since you started. But
Yes.
I guess as you've continued to collect or stack, your priorities have shifted.
Yes.
So that's in essence what you've done.
Yeah. I'm still I'm still a collector at heart, where I collect certain things. Um, but I've switched to more of a stacker. So,
Yeah.
but yes, I did, but I just enjoyed getting all the proof sets and everything else. Now, if I have got an opportunity to buy a 36, 37 proof set and original packaging and all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
would I buy that? I don't know, because those are running like 4 or 5 grand. I'd rather spend that money on
Couple ounces of gold,
or a
or
high grade St. Gaudens.
yeah,
But
your bucket list.
but the proof set is probably going to continue to go up, because as those proof sets are found, you know, they're cut out,
Mm-hmm.
sent in for grading and everything
Yep.
else. So they didn't
Or
make many to begin with,
yeah.
and the population on those has got to be dwindling.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, because the packaging, even if somebody doesn't, break them open or anything, the cellophane or whatever the material is, it's break the paper and everything. It's breaking down.
yeah, it is. It is breaking
I
down.
have a 61 uncirculated set, and the cellophane is just awful. It's like the glue is just coming undone around the seams and everything. So you can just literally just take it and just and I mean, I can't save it. So, and, when I saw that set in that condition, I was like, you know what? I'm getting that because I'm going to break it open and use those to fill my binders. You know,
Yep. And there goes
it,
another sealed proof set.
exactly. And that's one out of the population.
Correct.
But I don't feel guilty about doing that because it is the cellophane or whatever the
Well, and it
material is.
brings you
It's
more joy filling the
it,
holes in your book than sitting in a cardboard box, or sitting in the mint box,
yeah.
sitting on a shelf
Oh no,
someplace.
not mint box. It's the envelopes.
The envelopes, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying,
Oh
though.
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
mean, it
yeah.
brings you more joy filling the hole in the book.
Oh
At
yeah,
least I would assume, to do
yeah.
that than just to have it sitting there. Now, again, you get back to the first issues. Not now you're into investment type stuff, right? You're buying that with the hopes of it continuing to go up in value for a return,
Hmm.
where 99% of your proof sets, they depreciate over time.
Yeah. See, I started. I've only been what February next year will be 2 years I've been, even in the coin or stacking community. And I pretty much just stack for weight, just stack silver, but, in the last, this year, I've kind of transitioned and realized, I think for me, I wanted to add, the collectible side of it to, as a complement, to the stack. And, that's the fun part, finding the collectibles that I like,
Yep.
that speak to me and things. And, and like I said, finding these old uncirculated proof sets that are all beat up, and yeah, I'll break them open and fill my book. And you know what? That's great. It's like, it's kind of thrill to hunt a little bit. You kind of feel like kind of like a kid. It's
Yep.
like, hey, I finally found that, that 61 Philly quarter I needed. Goes in the binder.
Yep. Bad
So
gateway. Which coin was it? The links or was it the dos pesos?
because you got those two in the same night, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops.
Somebody got a little spendy.
I did.
Yeah, but you've been wanting one of those Dos Pesos for
I've
quite
been
some
wanting the
time.
Mexican gold for a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah,
And
that was
it's
one of
about
your
as-
bucket lists. Yeah.
it's about as inexpensive as you can get. And the links, I'm a sucker for reverse proofs, and I thought it was cool. And the history of them firing up and making a gold coin again for the first time in 540 years or whatever it's been.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a sucker for history. I mean that those pesos is 1945.
Mm-hmm.
No, it doesn't. It's not real old, but it's old enough.
Well, it's part of the collecting fun side of it for you.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
great. I think that's great.
But now that I've done that, now I'll move on to something different. Gen X gives something away I want to win. It's not my stream, so I'm not doing a giveaway.
I don't know.
Oh, the gold links. Yeah. Was it the reverse proof? Like I got.
Oh, it only comes in that one way, the reverse proof look. That's the only way it comes.
Oh, that's the only way it is? Okay.
Yeah, I thought there was like a separate, like just like a circulated beat,
Oh, I thought there was a bullion.
a business strike,
yeah.
but no, Stormy said it only comes that one.
It just comes that way? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the pictures that we've seen on other sites are terrible.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm. And yes, I got one from Stormy, and it should arrive tomorrow. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that.
You need cardboard flips. I know someone who's got a whole bunch of flips that he might be willing to work something out with you for.
You mean this stuff?
Yeah. I personally don't use them. I've got a handful, like 2 or 3 for each coin. If I do a giveaway, it'll be something like that. Here's 4 cardboard flips. Pick a number between 1 and 100.
Okay, yeah, that one's for cents. What else we got in here?
2x2s. Oh, you need the Mylar flips, is what you're saying?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those are pricey, but not outrageous.
No, they're not too bad.
And the only thing I use them for is when I send coins in for grading that they don't return. Yes. Speaking of which, let's do our daily update, shall we?
Yes.
What color do you think it'll be Is it going to be blue in grading still, or is it going to be green to encapsulation?
I'm not even going to flip a coin. I say it's blue. See,
And the
blue.
answer is it's blue. June, July, August, September. They haven't moved.
And how
And
long was it when I sent the Air
a month,
Force?
you sent yours in 3 weeks after mine arrived.
Yeah.
And let's just say that somebody's happy and somebody is not. And they did receive my second package that I had to mail out to use up my vouchers.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, they
it's
got
not
it.
entered in the system yet, but they did receive it today. So
That's good. So they have it in hand.
yeah.
Yeah. We poke. We poke. I poke more fun at him at that. Like, yeah. See, I sent mine in after yours, and like mine is already in the middle of the grading process. Yeah, him and I have fun about that stuff. Well, hey, folks, we are at looks like what is it 10 p.m. on the East Coast.
Yes, sir.
So I think this was a great run. Thank you for being here. I think we're going to wrap this up. So thank you for spending some quality time on your Friday evening with us. I appreciate you being here. Thank you to Mr. Gen X, my partner in crime as always. I really you're one of my mentor, with this YouTube channels stuff. And, I think you and I have become, we're becoming good friends,
Yeah.
these last, over this year. And I really appreciate your friendship.
Yeah.
So thank you for being here. Thanks you for everybody in the chat and Andy and the new, Stormy, the new mod. And so thank you mods for helping us out. So Mr. X, if you would.
Again, thanks to all the mods. Thanks for everybody for being here and in the chat and basically humoring us. Hopefully, we brought some humor to you. And I'll see you in the streams. And if you're not doing anything Sunday night, 8 o'clock, I probably will be going live. So until then, 73.
Let me find his copy of that. I'm going to put Mr. X's link into the chat. So that was Saturday or Sunday evening, 8 p.m. Eastern, Gen X channel for his Sunday night stream. So please join us if you can. We would appreciate the love and support. Again, thank you for sharing your Friday evening here. And with that, one day, NASA, you're going to show us what thermodynamics is all about. So be sure to transform your energy into a force for good.